This story caught my eye because it's an opportunity to introduce people to a subject, a lawsuit beginning, and let's see where this goes, because this is a problem in many jurisdictions. Now, a lawsuit was filed against the regulators in New York because their plan did not put enough retailers in position to satisfy the production of the farmers, making it, in their eyes, impossible for them to survive because there isn't enough places for us to put the production, which means the price of the product falls and the margins are too small to be able to effectively survive. Now, just as a preliminary, you've heard that, a prosecutor can indict a ham sandwich. Anybody with a filing fee and a piece of paper that looks to the clerk like it's satisfactory can file a lawsuit. Filing a lawsuit doesn't mean shit to me, okay? Because what's the lawsuit going to produce? So we'll follow this as it goes through. But just as an overview, when California got started, we adopted New York law here in California. So the DNA in California for our Constitution and laws is based on New York law. So I'm sure we're going to see some similarities. I don't hold myself as an expert on the New York Constitution or and what we call the enabling statutes that enable these regulators to put these regulations together. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying that I'm an expert on that, but I have been standing by where I live here in California, and a group of cultivators filed a suit against the county pushing their agenda, okay? And the suit ended up being settled for something that wasn't even a Pyrrhic victory. Okay? So when all the dust settled, they got diddly squat out of their lawsuit. And as a general statement, states have the authority over traditional police powers, health, safety, and welfare of their citizens. And cannabis brings them all in, health, safety, and welfare. So these laws are traditionally within the bailiwick of state authority. And even local jurisdictions have authority over their local health, safety, and welfare. And where that line gets drawn, that you've stepped over your authority, we're going to get a chance to find out. Because here in California, baked into our Constitution is local control. And if you haven't heard us bitch and moan about this before, local control is at the heart of our major cannabis problems in the state. Jurisdictions don't want to do it, so we've managed to get around it by sending deliveries into different jurisdictions that are against it. They can't stop that. They don't allow retailers. They don't allow cultivators. So a lot of our state doesn't have cannabis access, legal cannabis. Now, the problem is, and I've pissed and moaned about this a lot, is that the trap or the black market is out there. They are for real. And if you don't make this easy enough for legal cannabis businesses to survive, the trap just smiles all the way to where they bury their money. Mm-hmm. That's the problem we face here. Okay? And New York, I'm interested to see, and we'll follow this because I'll bring it back up as it goes along, when I get a chance to read the complaint and see what the answer is to the complaint, whether it survives challenges in the court. We call them demurs. There's no legal grounds to do this. We'll get a chance to see. The sentiment, I fully understand. The regulators for cannabis are some of the worst regulators in our nation. They could literally fuck up a wet dream. Give them a chance to do something here, and they're going to take the worst possible options for our industry. We're watching it every day. They don't really want to understand the margins are too small. The black market is too large for you not to be on the side of these cannabis businesses. Well, I'm anxious to see where this goes, but this is just a problem we see across the entire nation. Treating cannabis like it's, uranium. Mm-hmm. And we have to be so careful about it. Oh, the children, fuck you. Your kids can go buy weed around the corner right now. Okay? So if we're so concerned about our children, what are we doing about that? And no one wants to listen to the pure business approach to this. Mm-hmm. Let everybody have the license they want. Have reasonable regulations. If you can't make it as a business owner, that's what every other entrepreneur faces. Get out of the way. Let the market do this, and the black market will wither on the vine. Nobody wants to listen to that. They all want to have their little power positions, and we're in control of all this. In the meantime, the trap's just laughing their ass off. Okay? So I'm going to throw this back at you because this is something we could chew on for hours. We're going to have to bring it to an end at some point, but I'm interested in hearing what you all think about this.
Man, go for it, Jenny.
No, you go for it, Jason.
I was going to say, man, I support these people with this lawsuit because New York has botched this from a regulatory perspective every single step of the way, to where even the regulators in New Jersey got into a Twitter war with the New York regulators on how bad of a job these people in New York did. I mean, so nothing surprises me, you know what I mean? Like in regards with this at all. And I hope ultimately that they don't get put in some type of kangaroo court, because we know it's involving the state of New York, and we know how prejudicial they are in regards to their judgments and prosecutorial type of statuses and whatnot. And so ultimately, I hope that these people get a true, fair trial, and I think ultimately they will become victorious in this, and I wish them all the best. I'm so excited to see this happening, because there needs to be some real government accountability, and right now there is nothing like that in New York.
Check.
Well, one of the problems is that exhaustion of what we call exhaustion of administrative remedies.
We hear you,
Force
Jesse.
you to go through all the kangaroo courts in the administrative law system, where the deck is stacked against you, before you can actually go to a real court and get a real judge to issue an injunction to tell the state to stop it. I'm hoping they can avoid that. But like I said, we're going to watch this, and I'll be happy to give my perspective on where this is going from a litigator. I've had more cases than I want to remember, and I've been frustrated more times than I can remember with the goddamn administrative law system. And that's one of the reasons why I think Trump got the baton, because he's taking a look at this administrative law system, these regulatory agencies, and going, this is not workable. We got to stop this shit.
We covered this during the whole thing. What New York did to those farmers is ridiculous. All those guys were ready to go into action, and had to sit on all their crops as their crops went bad and got moldy. Like, it's wrong. And like you said, Dale, the more mucky the regulators make it, the easier they make it for the trap. But it makes you pose the question, like, do they really care? They're collecting money from these legal guys that are going out of business, and does it matter to them? They're making money. The trap's making money.
I think them holding on to the crops is probably that sucks, right? But the way that they selected farmers, right? Like, you had to have been growing
the hemp license. That was stupid.
Like, listen, just because I can sow a bunch of hemp seed and grow a bunch of things that are great for fiber, and maybe somebody somewhere can extract it for a little bit of CBD content, does not mean that I have the qualifications that it takes to grow medicinal grade cannabis. It absolutely doesn't. So I think that they were ass backwards in the entire way that they started this program. Like, if you could throw an entire state in the trash and try again, New York would be on the top of my list.
Fair enough.
California's right behind him. Prop 64 was a disaster.
Absolutely, and that's why I yelled about Amendment 3, because look, we haven't done a damn thing to fix Prop 64. We don't even know where to begin to address it, and that's why we have problems when we start regulating these markets in the wrong way. They say, look, no, we've given you cannabis. You guys voted for cannabis. Here it is. Like it or fucking kick rocks. And we don't ever get meaningful regulations and meaningful legislation that fixes these problems, because, well, we have legislation now, so deal with it.
I still hear those New York guys at the very beginning, how they were going to show California how it's done.
Well, I will say this. If you are a company looking to get into the New York market, I can definitely help you out. So definitely reach out, because we do have some resources available to help people enter the licensed New York market. So yes. So make sure that you reach out, because we are here to help and be assistance to our community. And look at that. We got the return of Jesse Barney back with us. Jesse, how are you doing today, Jesse?
Fabulous, even though I just woke up like 10 minutes ago and I forgot I was supposed to fill in this morning. But hi.
Yeah. Well, don't worry, Jesse, because we got a lot of action going on today, and I'm gonna roll into my next story. I can't wait.
I got him off the shelf early this morning.